that was new for me. Like, they don't tell you how to say, they just tell you to get the bag. They don't tell you some bags ain't yours, and that's okay. Some clients don't fit with you. So I had to learn that, and I think that's a great big lesson. And then just like you said, communicating with my clients. Like if I can't do something, if the time frame is changed or updated, just letting them know. And then just being transparent, like, oh, I don't think this is the best route for you. Let's re-strategize and go in a different direction, type of thing.
Okay, no, that's super impactful, and like the part that you mentioned, like understanding like which bags are yours, is super
Mm-hmm.
important as well. Cause like early on, like I was taking every bag that came my way. I was taking
I
photos.
mean,
I'm making
shouldn't say
flyers.
that.
I'm DJing. You know, it's like whatever I could do to like get this
Right.
plant, this plant like hat inside of somewhere. I was doing. You know, so we'll just get into it.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, I'm Dom Root, and this is the Culture Convos podcast where I chat with some of my homies and folks that I've met throughout the years on this journey of art and business. So up next we have Monique Wade,
Hey,
entrepreneur,
hey, hey.
amazing individual. Man, I've seen you in the community so many times. We haven't. This is probably gonna be the longest conversation we've got to have one on one. Thank God
Right.
for just like timing and just it's all God. So you
Right.
sat on the panel. You held a workshop at our Root conference. You've been in
Yes.
and out the community. I've seen you so many times. So if you can, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into branding and your journey today.
Of course. All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Monique. So I do have a marketing agency. It's called TLM Agency. And there's been like a lot of transitions, as any business owner knows. But I also do work in nonprofit marketing now as well. And pretty much like I took the grassroots approach with everything I've done. Just being in the field, meeting and greeting, shaking hands, and just really out there meeting people. And then as we grow older, the people that we meet and network with can really like give us like a leg up in the industry. So that's kind of like how I got my start with everything. Like I met someone, we partnered together, and then it was just we were young, so we spread apart. And then she opened her agency, and I opened mine. And she's more PR based, I'm more marketing based. And then that helped me get into like more of a corporate role. And it was through somebody I was networking with. He was like, I think you'll be a great fit for this agency. And then from there, here I am now, just still grinding it out.
That's amazing, and shout out to you for never just like giving up on like finding that like your purpose, like you started something and didn't hash out, but like you learned to pivot and adapt and adjust
Yeah.
and take some of those lessons from like that previous venture. Cause like that was a big thing. Y'all were popping, y'all were out in the community
I
hitting
know, that
every
was
single
so
thing, you know
fun.
what I'm saying? So just to take
Yeah.
all that energy and still be able to apply it and move because you're still that energy is still there. Like you're still that person. You can still create and make
Right.
those connections. Like all those people that you hung out with or those events that you pulled up at back in those days. Like if those people are still doing things, like those connections are still there for you and
Oh,
available as you
definitely.
grow.
Yeah.
So yeah, on
Yep.
that
Yep.
on that on that topic of connections though, what's been your experience with like? So wait, first of all, are you from Phoenix? Like,
Mm-mm. I'm from Ohio. My family's from Ohio.
okay,
But yeah, since I've been in here, the experience in Phoenix, at first it was slower, but then like, mm, it was so small when we started, like, so that you just had to be here. So like I met great people like yourself when everybody was just getting started. Like they were babies in the game, and I feel so blessed for that because now everybody that I started with is like doing big great things, and it's like, oh, I know him, like for real, we locked in. Even like Poetic Soul, back in the days, like I know him for real. Like everybody's just doing great things, so it's just amazing to see all of us transition, and now we all grown and our businesses is like really up. So that's been my experience. It's been pretty good.
No, that's amazing. And shout out to the community for sure. Cause like for
Oh
my day
yeah.
job, I work in like student housing near the ASU area. So
Hmm.
anytime I hear someone walking past and they're like, "Yeah, we're about to go downtown to Poetic Soul," and it's just
Right,
like
that's so
some
dope.
random kids. I'm just like, hell yeah, that's what's up. Like, I'll probably see y'all
Yeah,
there one of those weeks. But it's just, it's amazing that like folks have something consistent to go to, and a lot of us were together in those trenches, kind of
right.
figuring out our lives and our journeys, and for it to be staples here in the community, or like you yourself, like branching out into the nonprofit space. Like it's so many of us out here doing a whole, there's so much out here to do, honestly. And when you talk about
Yeah.
Phoenix and it being like a vibrant city, and a lot of people love to
Mhm.
compare it to other cities, like it takes folks like time to develop and grow into
Right.
those spaces and find those roles. But once people step into those roles, they do them extremely well.
Exactly. Like I like what you're doing. I think it's events of the week, and that is people need that. Like that's easy to share, and I think even just the way content has developed, it's easier to like digest it and get it out there a lot quicker. And I love that. And I was like, yeah, let me share this. This
Man, a
is dope.
thousand percent. And I get folks all the time that's like that ran across the brand, and they'll come into town. It's like, yo, you got an event, but like we don't do them that often, even
I
when
know
we
I
were
miss your
doing them.
events.
So we are
Really.
we are coming back October 2nd with a small one, and then we're gonna
Yay.
like flow into it. But like, so I always want people to know like what's going on. So that's just like a little
Yeah.
initiative that we're trying to try out and see how it goes. But just really shout out to folks that are doing events and really be that light, because for some
Right.
people I don't realize it, but they like look up to some of the stuff that we've done, although I still view us as like a still trying to get there and
Right.
grow, but at the same time, like while I'm still on my path, I want to be able to shine light on other people out here just doing the same exact thing. Like
Exactly.
I'm no special, I'm no different than anybody else that can curate an event
You
or
being humble. You being humble. Cause
for
stop playing
sure.
with me. Like I've met great people at your events. I still talk to them to this day, and they growing and thriving. So
Yeah, no,
yeah.
absolutely. So let's keep this thing rolling. When you talk about growing through some businesses and like making those transitions, how was your like mental health during that time? Were you like super stressed? Like, was there a lot of anxiety that you were feeling about like things ending or new beginnings? Like, how were you kind of in those pivotal moments? Were you like super confident, or were you kind of concerned?
Well, when I lost my business partner, at first, I was childish. Like now that I look back, I'm like, man, we could have restored that or whatever. We could have, did something. But it was definitely a learning experience and learning curve. And like I low key, sometimes you get sad, and I think that's not addressed because you're grieving the loss of something and then the newness of something else. But sometimes I don't know why we just keep going. So like I didn't really feel it. I was just like, well, I got to get to the next levels. But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, I kind of missed that or kind of missed this. But I'm glad that I went through it because now I'm grown. Now it's taught me so much, and now I know like when people ask me for advice, and because I went through it, I'm like, oh well, here's something to consider. But I feel like it was just necessary. Like I don't doubt or regret anything because usually it's been replaced with better or just a different pathway. So I'm just grateful.
Yeah, now I connect with you there, because even early days for us, when we were just selling merchandise and clothes, and I was coming from LA to Arizona for college, and honestly, when I started this, it was just me and some of my homies that I was super close with in high school were just like, nigga, I'm gonna do it too. Like,
Right.
so it's cool, but like my mindset was super like locked in. Like I'm trying to build a business structure and like kind of go crazy.
Right.
This way I had goals and initiatives, and for them, it probably was just more of like man, I'm just going along for the
A
ride. Like it just
hobby.
seems fun, like
Yeah.
a hobby. Exactly. So I just remember how I used to talk in the emails. It was just wild. I was like, man, I was just like too,
Right.
it was just too much like for like what they were expecting to get out
Like
of it.
Kanye West. We were just in here
Yeah,
saying, yeah,
I just
yeah.
again, because like the people that inspired us were super charged up in that way. Like the people that we were
Hmm.
looking at, they were on top of their shit. They were making things happen. So for me, it was just like, why not like follow that mode? And of
Exactly.
course, you're not
Yeah.
always gonna run into individuals. And not to say your previous situation was like my situation, but I'm just saying in my situation, I was able to see kind of where I needed to grow. I was like, let me chill here and understand like who I'm working with and what my expectations are for
Hmm.
them and what their expectations are for what we have going on,
Right.
and learn to communicate that better. Like now, as I grow and
Right.
build teams, I'm just like communicating like, hey, here's where I am. I'm deeply
Hmm.
obsessed with my shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Deeply
So like, if
obsessed.
you want to be involved in anything that I have going on, just know that that's my personality, and
Right.
hopefully we could still build on something and give them that opportunity to be like, you know what? Like I'm just looking for something fun, and they can like bow out
They
gracefully
can
and
help
do
with the
something else,
events
or do
or,
something else. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
100%. Just give them an option. So, no, for sure, I connected with you on that way. How's your communication with clients? Like, now that you're in like the nonprofit space and you're doing I see that you do some branding work for like different campaigns. So there's like a holiday campaign where you did like something for a particular client that you have, so you were just
Oh,
showing
yeah.
like a series of things that you did for that client. Like what's been your journey with like communicating, I guess, goals, expectations, or trying to get the client to even communicate what they're looking for, like out of the whole project, for you to be able to do your
Right.
job successfully?
Well, a key thing is when I first started, I just wanted money. So I was taking anybody as a client, as a lot of entrepreneurs will do. And then I kind of found like a niche. Like, if I get people that really are invested in their business, hold on, the same way that I am, is going to produce a better result. So, like, all my clients, like, they don't play about their craft. And that's the best client for me, because I don't play when I'm playing with, like, when we are locked in, we're doing business. I don't want to like wait on it. I don't want you to like be relaxed. I don't want you to be only depending on me. And so people that are truly like passionate about their craft, their career, I don't have to remind them. I don't have to be like, oh, remember our meeting, or oh, you missed the meeting, or you're late. They be there before me. So I just got more serious clientele and different. Like, I realized when I was starting, I was treating it like a hobby. And I was taking people I wanted to work with, and only those type of people, like, oh, I want to work with music artists, but then they're not getting, at the time, they weren't getting paid. I started back in the day. They
Yeah.
wasn't getting paid. So it was hard for them to pay me. And then I was just like, man, I'm doing all this work. It was like, I'm glad I did it, because I learned so much and I developed a lot of skill sets, and it was a great time. I could see that through my transition of getting serious clients, I was getting able to get paid and able to put more into projects because I was getting paid. Like,
Yeah.
I can get there on time because I'm not trying to struggle to get the gas money, or just, just a lot of
Just coming
things.
from
Or I'm
something else,
right.
rushing
I
to
can
the
stay all
next
day because
thing.
I am
Yeah.
hungry. Like,
Right.
just little things. But definitely, like, just got serious about my rates and saying no to clients, and standing on my, like, I've been able to let go clients, and I never would have did that because I was so money hungry at first. And now that I realize my value, I'm like, okay, we're not compatible. We gotta, go separate, exit letters. So
Right.
that was new for me. Like, they don't tell you how to say, they just tell you to get the bag. They don't tell you some bags ain't yours, and that's okay. Some clients don't fit with you. So I had to learn that, and I think that's a great big lesson. And then, just like you said, communicating with my clients. Like, if I can't do something, if the time frame is changed or updated, just letting them know. And then just being transparent, like, oh, I don't think this is the best route for you. Let's re-strategize and go in a different direction, type of thing.
Okay. No, that's super impactful, and like the part that you mentioned, like understanding like which bags are yours, is super important as well. Cause like early on, like I was taking every bag that came my way. I was taking
I
photos.
mean,
I'm making
couldn't say
flyers.
nothing.
I'm DJing. It's like whatever I could do to like get this plant,
Right,
this plant like hat inside of somewhere, I was doing. So, but I had
right.
to like learn, like, cause like, as the owner of the business, like some people want bread and like cash straight up, and that's completely fine. Some people are open to trading, and a lot of the time, like my personal skill sets involve audio production, mixing, mastering, making beats, that kind of
Right.
stuff, which is time consuming. So I'm in situations where I'm trading somebody, 30 minutes on stage for like 4 hours of me in the studio, and I can only,
Right.
the math don't math,
It
all
wasn't
the
that
time,
then.
so I have to just prioritize,
Man.
like, yo, this is exactly the things that I'm going to do, and the other things, it's just I'm hands off. Like, I'll connect. I know so many people
Right.
now that I could find you that photographer. I'm not taking no
Right.
photos unless my lady need me to be somewhere and pop them for her.
Exactly.
But other than that, like, it's
Exactly.
just a hobby for me, and I have to prioritize it as that versus something that, again, like you mentioned, like like money was a super important part for me in the beginning too. So if I can X amount of photos, for this much, I would try to make it happen to make that money, but also get that plan in the building as well. So.
Right.
All right, so yeah, now we flying through some of my questions here. What's been one of your biggest obstacles that you've overcome, and how did you overcome that one? Or you can answer like what's been just the biggest lesson that you've learned up until this point.
Well, obstacle that I struggled with was imposter syndrome, and it's kind of like you don't feel good enough, or you feel like there's people better than you. But then, like, you realize that everywhere in the world, there's people that are so confident, and not producing half of your results, and here they are charging way more than you. So it's like, get up, go do it, go try it. And so I realized, like, I used to have this person that was my mentor, low key, and like he was like, see if you can get this much, and it was like double my price. And I remember I was like, dang near arguing. I was like, I'm not gonna charge somebody like $70. That's a lot of money. That was way back then, but yeah. And then he was like, if you do it, I'll pay you times that. I was like, man, that motivated me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna charge. And then the person paid, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, could have always did that. And mind you, that was $70. So at the time I was charging what, $35 an hour. Just imagine that. And as a creative, we all know that it's not like how you go clock in a job, the hour is kind of like per project. So project hours can be longer than the actual time frame. So my value was at $35, which is pretty low. Mm-hmm. So just being challenged and being able to do that and beat imposter syndrome, like I still struggle from it sometimes. Like, I can post all day for my clients, and then when it comes to my business page, I'm like, this ain't good enough. Or I took so long that it got to be fire content. So like, just trying to have a plan, and then like accountability partners has helped. So.
No, that's amazing. And how has that like experience been with you? Are you like pretty responsive? Like, oh shoot, let me get on it, or because like I've had some folks that ask me to help them stay accountable, but then they like pop off on me and shit, and I'm not really good at that. I'm like, I'm gonna throw it out there a couple times, but like I'm not, I can't hang over you. But some people may be better with like receiving those reminders because they actually want them.
Exactly. So I had to grow into that. When I first started, like I said, I was like telling him, I'm not about to do that. But it's because I was afraid and I didn't know better. And what I realized as growing up and maturing is that you don't know what you don't know. And if you tried it that way a lot of times, then like, okay, it wasn't working, why not try it some other way? So I've become very receptive to feedback. I still struggle a little bit, but I want to get better. And I don't know everything. And there's a possibility that this could work. So I'll be like, okay, let me give it one try. Like, at least try it and see what's up with it. And sometimes it's actually really solid advice because you can't see from every end. And this person's like, hey, I feel like you would be strong here. Or, hey, I feel like you don't need to be doing that. Or like my mom, like she be telling me advice. And sometimes I'll be like, whatever. And then she be right. So I'll be like, oh, let me just listen to you.
Right. Nah, that's super true. And I'm that way as well because like I could sit for hours with some people and like run plays, like, oh man, you could do this based on some of the stuff I've seen you do. Right. But I'll sit and scratch my head all day about my next play, or like second guess it, it's like, no, I can't do that because of this. But whole time I just spent like 2 hours, talking to someone else about what they can do, so yeah, ultimately like finding those people that could do that for you is super, super important because it's not the case that you necessarily need that input, but also hearing it, you can like run through it in your head and like, nah, not that, but like I see where that can go and you can kind of build off of that. So no, that's super important. So when you talk about like making yourself available to those like higher end clients, or not higher end, I don't want to like downplay, but people that were a little more serious about like what they wanted to do, that were clear about their goals and initiatives. Like how did you make yourself visible to those people? Like was it going out to more events, but different kind of events? Was it like tapping into some of your resources that you built over the years? How did you find these like they're not necessarily new people, but like just different clientele?
Well, first I started charging for everything. Like my time became very like a price was attached to it. The only thing free was 15 minutes. The first discovery call. After that, you got to make a payment. And at first, it was a kind of a fear, like, oh, they're gonna find somebody else, or they're not gonna come. Well, then, I wasn't getting paid anyway. So you don't miss no shots you didn't shoot. Right. So I just was like, I got tired of being hungry. Like not even just like physically hungry. Like I got tired of accepting anything. And then I realized after doing so much for free that I wasn't getting anything out of it. It was nothing that I could really. Like it wasn't tangible. It wasn't a favor for a favor. It wasn't even a trade. It was just like me wasting my time. And then I kind of got serious with myself, kind of like during COVID, to be honest. And then I was just like, well, this ain't for me. And I kind of like started, working in the corporate role, which when you see how much people get paid for real, and then they're not doing half of what the creative freelancers were doing, not even to compare it, but it's just like, you just charge this client $20K for a strategy session. I was charging people $35 for a whole hour. So it's just like, it really puts things in perspective, and you realize that time and value are two different things. And because you're paying for years of expertise, and like, it's really hard to put a price on that. But if you go by time, or people that think about things in time, they're not going to understand. So I just started, putting a price for everything, and then like setting timers on my meetings. I'd be like, well, we're over, do you want to pay for more time? And it was scary. Like I say, like, it was scary because like, you don't want to come off rude or come off cold or harsh, but then people respect your time. They're like, oh, you ain't playing. I'm like, yeah, next time come with a pen and paper. I told you, baby, because you only got 45 minutes, and I got to get to the next client. I want to make sure I have time to answer questions at the end. So just respecting myself and my time kind of made people respect me, and then like just showing up how I wanted to be treated type thing.
Okay. No, that's super real, because I face something similar, just studio time. Folks come in like,
be relaxing, like
ready to talk for like an hour. I'm like, hey, I fuck with you heavy, but we gotta knock out this, and if there's anything on the back end, like, we can chop it up on the way out. But like, I don't want to kick it for an hour, then we gotta run a 4-hour session, and then you want to chop it up for another hour. That's 6 hours of my time. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go get a beer, let's do that. But like, if you want to record, then we in a space. Yeah, we in a space to record, and let's do that. So I had to create that, like, that line, or draw that with some folks. Some that folks, boundary, 100%. Like, I wasn't good at it, because again, like, I wanted to be the guy on, that folks came to for beats. So I'm like, I want to be that cool producer, good prices, it's super cheap to come record, great work. But it didn't end up like working out in the way that I was hoping that it would. It ended up just like costing me more of my time, and ultimately more stress, because like folks don't put a value on that, because they're like, oh, I spent 25 an hour over here, but then they'll go, as soon as they get a chance to go somewhere else and drop 100, they do, and it's like, damn, you definitely wouldn't have dropped that over here, or maybe that's just how it is in my head, and I need to just move forward doing that way. And then the folks that will pay that, the folks that won't just need to go somewhere else.
They wasn't your client. They were just there for the money, not for the value. So, deuces.
Right. No, that's 100%. So yeah, let's slide to something a little more like off business and some more fun. What do you like to do outside of like just like working, grinding? Like, what's your fun time like?
Okay, so
fun free time.
I'm kind of weird. I'm weird. I like to make to-do lists. My room is like a huge vision board. So like, I'll print things and then like hang them up, and I try to do about a month. I even make playlists for myself. Like, I'm hitting goals is like what I do for fun, and my goals be like purse or a certain shoe or a certain look. So it do be fun, but it's always like, okay, I want to achieve this, or I want to do this. And then I like to read, so I'm really into audiobooks. And what else do I do for fun? Okay, I do like to go out, and I like to go to different places in Arizona. I have an Arizona bucket list, and honestly, I probably like went to 91 places this year. Sometimes I go to 3 places in one day, and then I'll take videos and pictures of it. I like to get dressed, so those are some things I enjoy.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely see you on the gram, like pulling off different outfits, or just making sure you show off the details or stuff like that.
Too.
And I remember you were talking at the conference just about your aesthetic in general, that you were like looking to pull off like a soft, glam, kind of black girl luxury kind of feel.
Oh yeah.
Where does some of that?
So that's kind of. Go ahead.
Oh no, just where does some of that inspiration for like wanting that aesthetic come from?
Okay, so I know Tumblr is old and nobody got it anymore, but so I kind of got into Tumblr this year, like, want to say February, and it's just like a big mood board. Like, when you scroll, it's like, oh, this is cute, and like, it's nobody is on there. It's no likes, no who shared this. You don't care. You just scrolling and like taking in good content. So I'll be like making lists or like mood board, like things based off of what I save. And like, I just got used to seeing like all these beautiful, like, soft life, taking it slow Black women. I was like, okay, I'm really inspired. Like, I want to be tapping into like that, and not so hustle, like fight. Like, now when I'm around those type of people, not bad or nothing, but I just like, girl, relax, it's gonna be okay. Like, if you gotta do all that, then maybe you need to re-strategize. But I remember that used to be me, on the go, gotta go to everything. And then I was like, if I would have just chilled and kind of got a plan and showed up how I wanted to show up, it could have been more impactful. So like I just started focusing on that, and I see that it is more impactful. So I don't go to every fashion show no more. I don't even go to no fashion shows, no events, unless like it's exactly what I wanted to. And then like last year I lost my sister, so I have this thing now. I only do what I want to do. If it's not what I want to do, I don't go. I'm not missing out on nothing. Life is short, so live your best life. So like, if I don't want to go to the movie, I'll be like, well, y'all have fun. My friends know. I'll be like, y'all have fun. Tell me how it was. I will say no. I have more boundaries now. I'm trying new things, and I think just realizing how short and precious life is kind of like put me in hyper focus of like going after what I want and only what I want. Everything is like very tunnel vision. Anything else is a distraction. So with that being said, if I say I want something, I usually try to get it, and that just happened to be a part of it.
Okay. No, that's super important, and I'm glad that like you're able to really communicate that, because I feel like a lot of people can be going through something similar, you know, and I feel like how you put that into words was like perfect, spot on. But yeah, back on the glam, like where's some of your favorite spots to like buy? I don't know if this is a sin. I'm not like a fashionista or nothing, but like where do you find like some of your stuff, like, you know, that you love to wear, some of your go-to spots to shop?
So Goodwill, if you want something that nobody else is going to have, the Goodwill is going to get you right. And it's sustainable. I like Shein. I know that's bad because, you know, lead, but so cheap. I do dry clean most of those clothes, so they be not with the lead in it. I like Amazon because I don't leave my house a lot. I kind of became weird this year. Like, I don't go nowhere, like, unless it's to the spot I have planned. But as far as shopping, mall, public places, it overwhelms me to be around too many people. But I do like Zara and this place called Nasty Gal, Dolls Kill. So like just the weird stuff, because they be having like coats like with fur on the ends and checkered, like you just won't see nowhere else. So I'm like, ooh, that's what I'm going for. I like it.
Okay, nice. And speaking of fur, like we in AZ, it's hot. Like what's some of, you know, I know you got some stories just in reference of like just trying to stay cool, because like you do be pulling off certain things, and maybe it's just for the photo real quick, you flop it on real quick and
that
get
was
it going.
Winter, but no, in the summer I stay in the house. I don't like to. Like this summer I actually worked 2 jobs, so I was working 80 hours a week. I had a goal in mind. I was like, oh, I want to get a Tesla. I'm gonna get it. So I just saved like all my money, and then like I only went out at night. But the summer, it was a lot of dresses, a lot of shirt, skirt, shorts, combo. Other than that, like, honestly, I feel like I was always tired this summer because I was working a lot. Yeah. But the winter, y'all better watch, because I'm about to be dressing, and I love the fall, winter. Like, that's my favorite time to get dressed. I love boots, all that.
So how do you feel about wearing things twice? Are you the type that cares about that kind of stuff, or you just can't wear the same exact combination again?
Okay, it is weird. So this summer, because I was working so much, I ain't gonna lie, I had a lot of money. So I got a lot of clothes, and I couldn't wear it twice. Sometimes if I hit the outfit and I got it done, I was like, I ain't wearing this again. So I was like, I'm still trying to trade some of the clothes, or, you know, find people that want to buy it. But yeah, I'm done with it. But winter, I feel like I invest more into quality pieces, like thicker. You can change it up. I feel like summer ain't my best, so whatever. But winter, who ain't wearing their coat twice? They turtleneck, that's $30. Like, you gonna wear it, you gonna flip it, reverse it. Some things you just can't wear again, though. If it's like a thin material, or it's not good, or it's just not good quality, like just get it done and get the outfit off, and that's cool. But winter, I like pieces you could wear with something, with a skirt, with some leggings, with some tights, with that, with this, with that. If you can't do that, then kind of why you buying it. And the way I think about clothes, like if it cost me $48, or if the shoes was like I bought some Prada boots, I was like, I'm about to wear these boots 1,500 times. If that's how much it costs, you gonna see me in these boots.
Right,
so
right. No,
that's kind of how I think about it.
No, that's super insightful, like to know that, you know, you take that perspective when it comes to dressing. So what would be one or two like of the reasons that you would like wear something twice? Would it be like, oh, I didn't get no picture in it, or no one saw me in it type of thing? And you're like, all right, I'm gonna run it back. Run it back for the
But if I feel like I didn't kill the outfit, like if it's a hard shirt, like the things I do wear a lot is like t-shirts or like those graphic t-shirts because it go with so much. You could wear it with heels, you can wear it with tennis shoes, you can wear it to the gym, you can wear it to the grocery store, you can dress it up for the movies. So if I feel like it's one of those type of pieces, then sure, I'm gonna wear it out. But or if it's just like this shirt is very like, it's a turtleneck kind of cream, very a basic thing. So you could wear this with like a lot of different outfits. You could layer it, and you could just wear it along with some pants, with a skirt. So it just depends, I guess.
Okay. And then, so talking about your business and like some of the services that you offer, how in depth do you go with folks? Like, let's take, I don't know, say I'm an entrepreneur, right? And I'm reaching out to you and I'm trying to get some help with my business. You know, I'm trying to figure out the branding side of things, but I may also need some help, like logistics, operations kind of insight. Like, where would your business fit in with like what I have going on? Not me, Dom, but just me, whatever random guy.
You're saying an example.
Yeah.
When I first started, man, I was locked in. I was doing the most, but it was also draining me. And it wasn't like meeting, the value, my time, the pay. So now I stay in my lane. I will refer you out. Like, oh, you need pictures? Oh, here, this girl takes pictures. I used to take the pictures. I used to do the style. I used to have stylists come up, videographers, photographers, all these type of people pull up to a spot and take all my clients' pictures and all that, like all their videos. But nah, we here to do this, and that's what I'm gonna do. And if you need anything else, I'm gonna refer you out to people I like and think they could do a good job. But I had to respect my time a little bit more and also stay in my lane. Like that, everything ain't for everybody. And I could focus more on getting your social media together or having a theme or your highlight covers, things like that come easy to me and it's in my control. Because when I was depending on everybody else, I was like, ooh, he late with the logo. Ooh, I'm getting nervous because they're going to be yelling at me. Nah, I know late with the logo. I don't do logos. So here, this person do logos, go to them. So I just stayed in my lane.
Okay. Now that's super important too. Like, you definitely got to realize that. I feel like this is a story that many entrepreneurs can like attest to. Just starting out, ready to do any and everything, and then as you grow and develop, you're like, yo, I'm gonna stick to like what's in my wheelhouse, the things that I'm really good at, and hopefully by that point, like, you met some good people that you can, like you mentioned, refer them out to, and then make that connection. Because unless you have like a full like unit, if you will, multiple business partners kind of in this with you, where all right, we got the photo division taken care of by these guys, you know what I'm saying? So that way you're not just getting yelled at and having to yell at an independent contractor. Like, you're looking at someone who's kind of equally yoked in the business as you are. Like, you gonna handle your part, they need to handle their part, and then it all comes together as one. But like, you as one individual trying to coordinate a whole bunch of independents to like come together for a common thing could definitely get stressful if you're not getting like a large bag for it, you know, because that's a lot of work coordinating, 3 people's schedule, but let alone four.
I hated that part. Like, dang, they don't like the logo. And I'm trying to like edit it, and I'm like going back and forth. It's stressful.
Right. No, 100%. Like, that could be stressful too, because you can't just hop in there and move some stuff around. You got to communicate to the other person, like, hey, they want this, like this, and you like the middleman, and that's kind of stressful too, because it's like, can y'all just talk and y'all figure it out, and like just let me know when you're done, and then I'll do my job after that. No, that's crazy. So what do you like to watch? Are you into shows, TV shows, movies, anything like that?
So I don't watch any reality shows. I don't like drama. Life already hard. I don't like nothing that make it harder. I tend to, like, when I relax, because I kind of work a lot, or I used to work a lot, I like animation. So Big Mouth, Human Resources, something like I ain't gotta really pay attention to the storyline, like The Office. It's just going in. If I catch a joke, I'm laughing, or it's like, oh, they crazy for talking about that. But I don't like nothing too serious. And if I do, I like love movies or funny movies. I don't watch sad. I don't watch. It's too suspenseful. Gotta turn it off. They got my heartbeat raising. No, I'm nervous. If it's scary, I don't watch it. I don't want to be sad, angry, scared, none of that. So I don't watch a lot of things.
Yeah, I feel you. No, that's hilarious. He said too much suspense, like cut it off.
Yeah, they doing too much. I have a lot of unfinished movies on my Netflix. It got too deep.
Now, there are some things that do that to me, where it's like, yo, I don't want to see the outcome. One, especially if they take too long, it's like, I'll wait a second, But if you dragging it on, and I'm just like, all right,
Right.
You got me to the point now. I just gotta go to the next thing because
Right.
I'm either gonna be frustrated that you made me wait all this time for nothing, or like this
Hmm.
shit's a big deal and I probably don't want to see it.
Right. Like fruit bill, stuff like that. I don't watch
Oh
nothing that's
yeah,
gonna make me mad. Life
yeah,
already tough. I
yeah.
don't want to be seeing that because I'm very empathetic. Like I take it real like to the heart. I'm like,
No,
man,
for sure.
the people like that's movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They
no,
over this stuff.
I'm a sucker. I drop tears on almost all kind of shit. Like I
Oh,
love
the big
success
cry.
stories. So anything that somebody overcame some struggle,
Hmm.
I just be in there like, damn,
Right. Like man.
damn, he did it, dog. Like,
Exactly.
so I just be having to watch myself because like I love like that's my thing personally. I just love success stories. Like even just like being able to trail your journey from like you introducing yourself to me the first time. I think I was like running sound for Lee Waters' first Light Shine event, at that the
Oh,
Nine
Lee
Gallery or
Water.
whatever,
Shout out to Lee.
Yeah, and then you literally pulled up, introduced yourself, and then you was just like working the room doing your thing, and I was just like,
Hmm.
damn, okay, hell yeah. Like I remember I seen you prior to then, so we had like that small encounter of me saying that I mentioned seeing you somewhere else, but like since then though, like you've been just like this growth, and other people in the community, like
Thank
we
you.
mentioned before, have been doing amazing things, and like that's
Thank
what I love to see. Like part of this
you.
whole I Am Root thing is again not because I enjoy being like the face of anything. I love being a part of a community that's like vibrant and
Hmm.
everybody's like doing something, you know what I'm saying? And everybody has a
Right.
spot or a role to play because that's what ultimately makes a community. Like I don't want to be the only brand like doing things or events. Like there
Right.
has to be home base, there has to be poetic soul, there has to be infused, there has to be all of these other things like
Right.
contributing to what we call like home or community, for sure.
Exactly. I agree with you.
All right, so yeah, as we wrap up and get close to the end here, I want to ask just a couple more things if you cool with that.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. So, what's been one of the biggest pieces of advice that you've received from either a mentor, parent, or shit, it could be even your nephew? I know sometimes
Right.
little kids be dropping gems, and you're like, man, you know what? Let me put that in
Right.
perspective.
So a long time ago when I first started, I had a mentor. He told me, "Ain't no friends or enemies in business. It's just business." So when you keep that in perspective, what's the bottom line? Like, what's the mission? What do we have in common as far as the business? And then let's stay focused on that. I don't hate you, but I'm not gonna be buddy buddy. So let's get it done. So he taught me that, and I should have followed it in the way beginning when he told me because I used to be like, "Oh, I'm so stressed about it." He was like, "Well, what's the bottom line? Get it done."
No, that's real. Okay. And then, what's been one of the biggest misconceptions about La Monique, just from the
Mm.
public's eye, I guess?
Dang, that's crazy because I really don't even care what people think. But mm, dang, I don't know because I don't what they doing talking about me. I'm
Well, just
scared.
anything. Anybody ever come to you and be like, "Oh, I thought you was gonna be more like this," cause but like
Oh,
anything like that. Not like so no drama shit, but like they
right.
thought you were gonna be mean when you were really nice, or they thought you were
I'm always
stuck up,
always
but like
introduce myself. Um, because I always introduce myself to everybody, and that was kind of like my personality, especially when I started, like to get to know people. So,
I mean that's
mm,
it's a good thing if it's nothing, it don't have to be
right. I
anything. But I
just
was
didn't
just
even think about
curious,
that.
yeah.
Cause like honestly, if it was, I'm like, I don't care if it ain't true. Probably thinking I talked to somebody that I didn't talk to, or oh, I thought you was dating this person. I'm like, I ain't dating nobody.
Hmm.
Stuff like that.
Okay, so like super small stuff, non-important
Yeah.
things. Okay. And then so let's take it back to the law that I first met back, I don't know
Mhm.
what year that was, 2016, 17ish.
I think
Um
2017.
17. So what piece of advice would you give to yourself at that point in your life? Like what would be one thing
Man,
that you would say to you or somebody in your shoes?
be intentional. Like you don't gotta be at everything to be impactful. Cause I could have definitely utilized like some time to like really work out what I wanted out of an event or what was my mission in being there or what was the intention. Because a lot of times I was just like, okay, I gotta go. Like, okay, I gotta go. Okay, I gotta go. When I could have just been like, okay, but why? Because I went to the last thing and that's gonna be the same people. What am I trying to take away? What am I trying to provide? And kind of just focusing on my value as an individual or what I can give to people I wanted to meet. Because I didn't even think about that. I was just like, oh, I gotta go. For what?
Yeah, nah, right. Just thinking that you just got to be outside or be present or be where it's
Yeah,
at to get tapped on the shoulder. No, that's super important
exactly.
too.
Right.
Cause that kind of mentality, depending on the type of person you are, not saying this is you, but like another type of person, that could lead them to be like out at the club every weekend or like out
Right.
places they don't really need to be because they thinking that they increasing their
Exactly.
odds of like meeting someone that'll get them to whatever next step they're trying to be. When it's like, no, you got to be
Exactly.
at the right spots at the right time around the right people, and then the right things will happen for you.
Right. Pretty much just like saving something for yourself. And like when I learned that, I've been able to like, I don't know, be happier, be more secure. And then like when I do go, I'm more prepared to be there because it's like, okay, my intentions are this. I got my things, my outfit is everything, you know, everything's on point. Versus just when you're out all the time, you kind of like be running yourself ragged. And that's how I felt. I was like, whew, I'll eat a lot.
No, no, that's real for sure. A couple more before we get you out of here. In your line of work, I know you mentioned working with like music artists and some other folks. How has like your reception to like people taking you seriously been? Like, are they, you're a beautiful black woman. Like, are folks like crossing the line between like professional and personal, and you have to like kind of chop shit down sometimes, or has it been pretty good for the most part?
Uh, sometimes like sometimes it was annoying, but I'll be like, the way I approach things, the way I do business, they know I ain't playing with them. But then it's like when we don't do business no more, they be like trying to shoot their shot, and I was like, bro, I don't talk to my clients, so like not trying to like throw it out there, but yeah, no, like let's do business. Like I don't want to do nothing else for real. I just really want us to both win, and I feel like that's more valuable than these one-off situations that people be thinking they want. Because I'd be nice, and they sometimes people could take you being nice to you, you know. But I feel like just the way I be talking to people, I be like, oh, no, we're gonna do this, and bro, we're gonna do this. Like, I'll bro somebody to death so they know what it is. So I rarely get people that are confused because it's just the way I'm talking. Or if it get awkward, I'm like, bro, stop being weird. Like, I'll call it
Right.
out.
Call
So
it out. No, that's super important. You gotta make sure you draw that line in the sand sometimes or wherever it's needed. You know what I'm saying?
right.
All right. And then one section that I love to do on my podcast is for folks to shout out some of their like other faves in the community that are kind of just doing work. So if there's anybody, maybe five or so people that you know out here that's doing amazing things, you can exclude me. I won't feel any kind of way, but like just some folks that you love to shout out that's doing amazing work either in your space or in other spaces.
Okay, well, Victoria Lynn, she's such a baddie. She's become a flight attendant. I just love her because I feel like me and her, we was going through a similar like rough patch, and then like we overcame it, and now we just foot on the gas. And then lovely Kayshawn, she also runs the oral therapy podcast because man, like she's such a light. Like she don't stop. She's always thinking about what's next, what could I do. This girl named Mawa. I love her because she's such a calm spirit and she does so much and so humble. Like you wouldn't even know it. Like, girl, what the like you're doing? You got your hands in this. You do this, and she's always trying to put people on. Like just the other day, she knows I'm trying to go into tech, so she sent me this opportunity. I was like, girl, like I love you. What? This
That's
girl,
amazing.
dang, I only be knowing sometimes people's handle on IG, but I love her because she has this cute little French bulldog, and now
Mm.
I think his name is Ollie, I want to say, but she does interior decorating, she does Airbnb, she does like those little boards, the charcuterie boards or whatever,
Oh
and then
yeah.
like she's just dope. I love that when she has a passion, she makes it into a business. And then Michelle and Hair, I like the way she's like always thinking about how to elevate her brand. And then I have a friend named Troy. Like he just started Airbnb. I'll tag him too. So I'm proud of him about that too.
Okay, for sure. And you're just gonna have to double check, like cross reference all the accounts. I'm gonna find them, make
Right.
sure I
I
can
was
pop
like,
them up on
oh,
their
whatever her
screen.
name is.
But I wrote everybody down. We got Victoria Lynn, Lovely Kayshawn, Mawa, Michelle and Hair. Was that Michelle and Hair?
Yeah,
All right,
but
for
I'm
sure.
gonna send you
In
other
Troy.
thing after this. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, I just want to make that a thing on my podcast where we show love
I
to other
love
folks
that.
that's out
That's
here
cute.
grinding, kind of doing some of the same shit that we're doing. Because honestly,
Hmm.
to be frank, like we're no special than some of these other people out here that are doing amazing things, you know. So
Right.
if we get an opportunity to show some love, we don't gotta wait until someone passes or until someone makes
Exactly.
it, and then we're telling them how
Yeah.
dope we think they are. Like you guys are dope. Obviously, a lot thinks you're amazing, and I'm gonna check out. I don't know any of these names, so I'm glad to follow them and
Right.
like learn about them for
Oh, shout out
sure.
to Darius. He just dropped the what is it EP like yesterday.
Oh,
So
really?
Darius
Oh,
Malik.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a music video, so now I'm gonna have to
Oh
really
look, I don't know, but
dedicate
I'm
the rest
happy
of
you
my
know.
night to checking it out for sure.
Yeah.
All right, for sure. I want to thank you for joining the podcast. Was there anything that
Of
you want to
course.
kind of leave the people, the world with in terms of just like any inspirational, motivational, any thoughts on anything in particular?
Okay, well, I have this one saying, it's kind of dumb, but I'll be like, at the end of the day, it's the end of the day. Meaning you're going to get through it. So just keep your head up and keep going.
Ah, that's amazing. I love that one. Steal it. I'm gonna have to use it. Write it on my dry erase board up here.
At the end of the day, it's the end of
End
the
of the
day.
day, like what you gonna do? You know, it's like
Right,
the
just
clock
keep
is
going.
gonna keep ticking, and go to bed, wake up the next day, you know, and try again.
Exactly.